If you are new to incubating eggs, hopefully this fourth short clip of 5 about our Mini Eco incubator will give you the information you need about getting started and placing and turning your eggs in this incubator. The Mini Eco incubator will accommodate 10 hen eggs of average size. You need some fertile eggs from a reputable breeder that are not older than a couple of weeks old, otherwise they may not be viable. If they have been stored, they need to have been stored in a cool environment, not a fridge. Before you put your eggs in the Mini Eco, make sure the incubator has run for 2 to 3 hours so that the temperature and humidity have stabilised. So let's show you how we recommend marking your eggs so that you know you have turned all the eggs in the same direction and at the same time. And for that we're going to pan the camera in. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, what we do is recommend that you mark your eggs with a little cross. I don't know if you can see that, with a little cross on the top of the shell initially. And you use a pencil to do that. If you swivel that egg around so that the X that we've just marked, the cross we've marked, is now at about 10 o'clock, we put another little mark, a naught, at about 2 o'clock. So a cross at 10 and a naught at 2. It could be a cross at 9 and a naught at 3, but essentially a cross on one side and a naught on the other side of the egg. In the Mini Eco, when we set these eggs, let's just take this tray out because we'll talk about this in a second. In the Mini Eco, when we set the eggs, I tend to set the eggs with the pointy face facing into the centre of the incubator and with the X at a 12 o'clock position. But you can set the eggs in any way you like, it doesn't matter. Just try to keep the eggs at about 1 to 2 centimetres away from the edge of the incubator so that when you put the lid back on, you don't touch the eggs. Now it's easy, or easier, to set the eggs pointy face in if you've got 10 eggs. I've got 7 here. So I'm just going to put the eggs in. There we go. There we go. There we are. So when the eggs are in the incubator and they've had time to incubate, we need to rotate them at least twice a day, preferably 3 times a day. So when it comes to rotating them, if we've got a little mark, a cross marked on these eggs, we can rotate them so that the naught is now in the 12 o'clock position. So if I do that, there we go, it's naught. Naught's on the top, naught's on the top, naught is now on the top. Hopefully you can see that. And the lid goes back on. When I next come to turning the eggs, I simply move them back so that the X is back on the top. So if we go back that way, that way, that way. There we go. The received wisdom is that you don't want to turn your eggs in just one direction, or it may eventually impair the development of the embryo. So the X and the naught should always alternate at the 12 o'clock position using this system. We keep rotating the eggs twice, preferably 3 times a day, until 2 days before the eggs are due to hatch. At that point we need to stop turning as the chicks need to position themselves for hatching. If you want to make turning easier, you can use a disc like this. This is a disc that comes with the Mini Advanced Incubator, which has automatic turning. But by using this disc with the Eco, the Mini Eco, we create something that's sometimes referred to by our distributors as a semi-automatic Mini Eco. And what we do is we take the eggs off here, we place the disc with the ridges facing upwards. There are 7 spaces for the eggs on this. We do have a disc which has 12 small cutouts for quail eggs, and then we do exactly the same, except in this instance when we are using a disc, it is usually recommended to place the eggs, if they're hen egg size, with the pointy side facing outwards. Again, it doesn't matter. You can do either way, and in fact, you may decide that you want to do a mixture because that's the best way the eggs roll for you. So let's put the X's on top. Okay. So when it comes to turning now, instead of having to turn individual eggs, we can rotate all the eggs, and the eggs should move so that the nought is facing upwards. If the eggs don't move, it may be because you need to turn them the other way round so that they, in this case, the pointy face was facing inwards, it didn't turn as well. And again, in this case and this one, it's the same. So let's try that again now. So we want to come back and turn them so that the X is back on top, and in this case that's worked perfectly. So we go backwards and forwards with the help of the turning disc to turn those eggs, and that is essentially what is referred to as a semi-automatic incubator now. In the final clip, we'll look at hatching.